Hey guys, I'm just here to pull a few for Mars. Mars being out of shadow here as we're still at the beginning really of Venus retrograde. So from these playing cards first, maybe I'll draw one for each. Mars out of shadow is a clairvoyant dreamer. Look, his eyes are shut here. Forthright and dreamy Mars. A forthright and dreamy Mars. And a very happy Venus. This is the wishes come true card. And this King of Swords isn't, the swords, the Tarot of Swords is associated with air. And Mars right now is in Aquarius, the dreamy air sign, the star. So this space is for a card for what Mars is offering through his position now in an air sign, or its position. We got the World and the Devil. The World and the Devil, those popped out. So it's really a polarity and a, constriction and expansion. And what each of those has to offer at this time. Let's think about that. To the Fool. The Fool. So there's a renewal here. There's a renewal. There's a renewal that is part of the thoughtful dreaminess. The clairvoyant dreaminess is what I said, right? There's a renewal within this clairvoyant dreaminess and this wish coming true. So perhaps rather than a culmination, rather than a culmination, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's a beginning of some kind. It's a conception. It's a consecration. I'm going to pull one again for Mars and one for Venus from my new deck. Six of Pentacles for Mars with Ada Lovelace. A very practical dreamer, inventress. It's an invention rather than a culmination. Perhaps it's an invention, and the constriction and the expansion are part of the methodology of this invention. Of this heady invention. Oh my God, Hedy Lamarr. Two of Pentacles. So we have two, computer foremothers, technological foremothers here. And so perhaps it's some way in which it's a renewal of the way that we invent things. It's a renewal of how we use and honor our inventiveness. And then the lovers. Jane Addams and Ellen Gates Starr, who were two of the first social workers. So they were using their inventiveness to begin an imperfect, but an attempt to try to ameliorate and heal and make more just our society for all. So any personal constriction and expansion you might find, just you might be uncomfortable with either one of those. But just remember to honor your sense of wonder. And then these were the cards for Mars, just out of his shadow, its shadow. The dreamy, the clairvoyant dreaminess, clear-sighted but not necessarily in a completely logical type of way. But clear-sighted for sure. Clearer-sighted than any constrictive logic. The constriction here, I've been talking so much about releasing anything that's become constrictive to the point of being somewhat obsolete. But here we can also use the constriction and the expansion as a form of measure, as a you know, to just witness it and any discomfort. Just try to stay again in your soul's deepest sense of wonder at even being here. Okay. And then the inventiveness that came up in both of the Pentacles cards I drew, these four mothers of Silicon Valley, of the technology that's so much everywhere in our lives that's allowing me to read tarot for the collective publicly. So we have a wish come true and a balancing. These are for Venus, just still at the beginning of her retrograde here in Libra. So wishes coming true in this sort of balancing, you know, and with these new technologies and new ideas that we hold for and trust in with each other.